Videos from security cameras showed Israeli settlers rampaging through a Palestinian village in the occupied West Bank on Monday, torching homes and cars in the latest in a string of settler attacks in recent weeks. According to Associated Press, the violence drew a rare condemnation from Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and other top leaders. The settlers started burning the car while they were outside, hitting and breaking things. "Even my niece in the car got hit in the face with a stone and she was hurt," said Raafat Mashaara, resident of Al-Jabeh, a small village southwest of Bethlehem. Ahlam Adawi, another resident, said, "The settlers stormed the house, starting with stones and breaking windows. They had clubs with them. They came and broke the windows, threw Molotovs and other things." He added that one of them said they wanted to burn him, like Dawabsha, a Palestinian family whose house in Duma village was firebombed by Israeli settlers, killing 3 people on July 31, 2015. Israel's military said soldiers and police were sent to Al-Jabeh after reports of fires and vandalism. The attack came hours after clashes between Israeli security forces and settlers defending an unauthorized outpost on a nearby hill, facing evacuation and demolition on Monday, according to Kogat, the Israeli military body that deals with civilians in the West Bank. Israeli police said earlier that 6 suspects were arrested in confrontations during the demolitions, where dozens of Israeli settlers were entrenched and hundreds rioted, throwing stones and metal bars and burning tires. The Monday night attack in Al-Jabeh was the latest in a growing wave of settler violence to hit West Bank villages, which has surged this fall as Palestinians take part in their annual olive harvest. Violence carried out by settlers and Palestinian militants have both spiked as the Israeli military has stepped up operations in the occupied West Bank since the onset of the Israel-Hamas war.
كل ما يجي اطلع من الباب الدبش مش موقف، يعني بالفيديوهات بتثبت هذا الكلام. هلا في اللحظه اللي هم ببلشوا فيها حرق السياره، طبعا هم برا بيضربوا بكسروا، بيضربوا حتى في بنت اختي في السياره بتيجي فيها حجر في وجهها بتتاذى. لما ببلشوا حرق بيكون واحد منهم ينادي بالعبري بكل اللي قدامه فيش وقت نحرق بسرعه اطلعوا، في ناس اجوا فزعوا. فانا اخذت القرار في داخلي ان هذه اللحظه المناسبه لازم اطلع فيها، يعني خلاص هم قاعدين ينسحبوا.
اقتحم المستوطنين المنزل. أول ما بلشوا بإحجار وتكسير شبابيك وهروات بإشي، يعني هاللي معاها، بعدين أجوا كسر شبابيك، رموا علينا مولوتوف شو ما بعرف شو، فحكى لي أنا بدي أحرقه زي دوابشة، أنا بدي أحرقه دوابشة. أنا فيش، ضل واقفين عدنا، صرنا ننادي عليه ابعدوا من الدار، نساوي، صرنا ننادي على الجيران، يا جيران تعال، يعني ضل واقفين، يعني أكثر من 30 واحد اللي كانوا محوطين كل الدار محوطينها.
Engineers painted a picture of a flamingo on the side of the latest Flamingo cruise missile on Sunday at the factory of the Ukrainian arms company Firepoint. This particular missile was funded by a $500,000 crowdfunding campaign by a Czech organization, Weapons to Ukraine. Building on the success of its deep strike drone, the FP-1, Firepoint is planning to more than double production of its cruise missiles. The Associated Press was given access to the factory on the condition the exact location is not named, due to the risk of Russian attacks. The missiles are in high demand among Ukrainian forces as Western missiles remain hard to access in sufficient quantities to debilitate Russian capabilities. Firepoint has successfully tested Flamingo on the battlefield at least 4 times, company executives said. The company did not provide its current production capacity, citing security concerns. Production is going according to plans, company executives said, without elaborating on precise figures for security concerns. In late August it was used to strike an FSB base in Armyansk in the occupied Crimean Peninsula. This week, the missile was used to strike targets in the Russian city of Oryol. Furthermore, the General Staff of Ukrainian Armed Forces confirmed that the Flamingo missile was deployed in long-range strikes on several dozen targets in Russian-held Ukrainian territories and deep in Russia on November 13. The strike was aimed at undermining Russia's military, economic and offensive potential. The General Staff said apart from Flamingo ground-launched subsonic cruise missile, the attack involved BARs and Ludiai drones as well. Among the targeted areas was the military infrastructure in Russian-annexed Crimea Peninsula and Zaporizhia region. The General Staff added that Ukrainian strikes also hit multiple sites inside Russia, with the scale of damage still being assessed. Flamingo's producer, Firepoint, which rose to prominence after initially being relatively unknown following the full-scale invasion, now reports $1 billion in revenue. It is also constructing a factory in Denmark to manufacture essential rocket propellant. In the meantime, the company is forging ahead with plans to expand. It has launched an advisory board and named former U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo as a member on November 12, executives told the AP. However, public scrutiny remains intense during an ongoing corruption investigation. Firepoint's executives insist they have nothing to hide and are operating under strict martial law protocols, even commissioning an independent audit to appease investigators.
There are no specific news or updates on investigation related to Firepoint. We will be waiting for results to come. We are completely cooperating with the NABU, providing them all the information requested. In general, that is a great sign that under such tough circumstances, our anti-corruption institutions are still working. We decided that since we are growing into a big international company, we have to ensure we are following the clearest and the best corporate standards. That's why we decided to form an advisory board, and we are very honored for Mike Pompeo to be the first one to join our advisory board since November 12.
Well, we saw how effective Ukrainians are with their campaign against the energetic missiles and with their deep strike. And we wanted to help them do what's working the best right now. Well, we raised 500,000 euro in 2 days. There was a famous nuclear scientist in the Czech Republic. Her name is Tana Drábová. She was our big supporter. She died, unfortunately, 6th of October, and we decided in her name to do this campaign. And we believe that it also helped a lot that it was in her name, and that's why we were able to raise money in 2 days.